Hi everybody. We're going to talk about the backstroke turns. We talked about the backstroke swimming, backstroke drills, and now we're going to talk about the backstroke turns. Backstroke turns a little bit more complicated in a way because you're going into the wall without seeing the wall, so you have to make that judgment when you're going to turn and how we're going to do it. So it's a little bit more complicated, but if you have that step by step how you should do it, and I think that every time you get to the backstroke turn getting in the wall, I think it's to be nice and easy to go. So before we talk about it, you practicing those turns, if you're doing this at home, I like you guys to practice without a wall. That means you gotta take a couple of strokes to the make as you approach the turns, and but you do in the middle of the pool. No looking at the how many more strokes. So you're actually doing the flip, but I'm hoping that you're gonna be way from that wall, so you're not gonna hit foot, hands, or your head. In that case, nothing will hurt you by any means. Because when we are having a practice at a regular pool, there's a flags prior to the wall, 5-yard flag on the top. That's where you're going to be seeing the check, and then you know how many strokes you take. Everybody's slightly different, so it just need to be, just because such and such took a 3 or 5 or 7, well, I'm going to take that 5. You know, it just doesn't work that way. So make sure you're going to have that exactly how many strokes you need to take that approach to turn. Also, the backstroke flags, you see, you always need to stay just below. That's where your checkpoint should be. If your backstroke flag is here, but as you're swimming in, if you're looking at it, see how much more do I have to go see the flag, that means you're gonna start seeing the flag as you come in. So that means that if you normally count from here just below to the wall, if you start counting early, and if you get to the same number, then you flip, you ended up too far away from the wall. Also, if you're looking down, you get really excited, looking down really hard backstroke, which you're not supposed to, but if you end up doing it, you ended up passing the flag before you even see the flag. In that case, your wall gonna come in a lot closer than you probably wanted to see, okay? So try to be a little more consistent, exactly directly below. If that's where you start the counting, and that's where you always should be counting, regardless of how fast you're traveling during the practice or at the meet, you need to be consistent. So it's always on the turn to be a little bit more, what do you call it, more powerful every time. Now, within that, even though you're counting perfectly, but it's still sometimes, well, it's a half stroke short. That all depends on how well you started off from the wall, okay? So when you push off the wall, you normally do 2, 3 underwater dolphin kick, take a first stroke, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 5. That makes an entirely different stroke count prior to the flag. So like I said, it's need to be consistent. That's the most important thing. Now once you see your count numbers are right, and let's see if my left hand's gonna be going into the turn, initiate the turn, the rest of the body will follow, okay? On this end, as you come in, I like you to follow this hand. I like you to keep following. You look. The reason why you look over with this hand, that will help you the body to rotate quicker. That makes you to go flip and to follow the front overhand to go a lot quicker than a smoother turn. And also, this way will actually help you to judge the wall as you're going in the wall, because you're swimming. If you reach your hands over, but you're looking at the top of hand, you really don't have a whole lot of time to judge where the wall is. But if you initiate the look with the bottom hand, you're already looking at the wall. From the minute when you look at it to your hands come around, you have plenty of time to make a judgment. If it's you are turning too early, too far away from the wall, you can go a little bit longer reach and a flip. But if you happen to be counting a little too close, and then you know that there's a wall, then you have to make a quick turn. And hopefully you're a little more consistent enough that you don't have to make that huge changes, but that will secure you exactly where the wall is, so it's manage the turn. Now what the job for the bottom hand is not just to move your hands around, so wait for the other hand to come over. Actually, this bottom end actually a very important part of that turn to be more consistent and maintaining a speed. As you're swimming back, still going in the wall. At this point, you're not really pulling, but if you can use the bottom hand just like as you do in the freestyle, beach ball technique, and push yourself forward. This is actually similar to the freestyle. If you pause the video from here to here, just like a freestyle. But this is actually after the fact. You need to set yourself to that from the backstroke to reach over, then your hands come over. Now, so the bottom hand is going to help you to get even more speed going to the wall, so make the turns, okay? Now, even though next step is going to be you're looking on this hand to follow. Now the overhand will come around. Now once this hand, bottom hand start to pull, your eye's going to switch to the top hand. So when you go to top hand, start to pull, your eye should be following to make that turn, okay? Now how small the turn should be, always the smaller the better, okay? The smaller the ball is, the faster you spin. So make sure you're coming in to look down, follow your hands, keep your knees to the chest, tuck your chin to the chest. As you heel, break the surface, kick it yourself, so that will help you out to spin a little bit quicker to the wall. Okay, once you flip, okay, if you are doing it at home without a wall, you need to be flip, push with no walls. Okay, so you're basically laying down the flat. Okay, so when you place your feet on the wall, when you get back to the regular pool to do that practice, place your feet on the wall. At the same time, you should be making a streamline to the direction you want to go back to. Okay, that depends on, I like you guys to stay as close to even. Place your feet on the wall, the level to the streamline, so you can push to follow. However, some of you guys, you try to use an underwater kick to gain even more speed. It will try to maintain that speed to come off the wall. Then place your feet on the wall. Your pointer finger should be a little bit lower, so you can guide yourself, go deeper water and through with the underwater dolphin kick. Okay, but that's just because I want to go deeper doesn't mean don't looking down and put your hands down in the bottom of the pool, because if you're not having a strong kick to follow, chances are you're going to stuck in the bottom of the pool, then everybody else will swim by you. Okay, so the key is if you have the strong underwater dolphin kick that you can use, then what you need to do, you can go a little deeper. But again, you need to use that underwater kick during the practice consistently, so your dolphin kick will be always strong, and then you always know how many number of underwater kick you will do. Okay. The swimmers on my group, they were 100. I do 5, but I do 200. I do 2. You know, all those inconsistency will add a little bit of time. So make sure to try to work on the proven practice. Make sure, even though how difficult it is, how challenging it is, to try to keep that underwater kick going, so that you always have that speed prior to the start of the stroke. So you can maintain a stroke as long as you can, because goal is to have that good enough speed coming off the wall, underwater kick, then the first 3-4 strokes with that speed that you gain from the wall, and try to finish that all the way to the end. That'll be the goal. And if you can repeat that as many laps as you swim, then I'm guarantee your time is going to be fast. So I want you to know that the flip turns are very important. So if you're practicing this backstroke flip at home, please stay away from the wall. Try to do that transition counter number to stroke. Make it a simple. Okay, you're gonna start it out 1, 2, 3. That you're gonna look at it, and 4, and you flip. Okay. Also, if you're making a turn, once you look and your body is turning quickly, so make sure your hands are following the side and reach out. Please do not go over your arms straight. That takes a longer time to get there. Your goal is to make that quick, then you make that turn. Okay? Thank you for watching, and what we're gonna do is keep working. Flip turn is very important. This is gonna be the make it or break it deal. And I'm gonna try to introduce to one of my assistants that are just coming in and say hello. Hey guys. I see you at the next video. Thank you.